Turkey hunting can be a very frustrating game of cat and mouse. For having such tiny little brains, turkeys seem to have some very sharp instincts. Not only are they sometimes very hard to hunt, but the decline in turkey numbers means that there's just fewer of them out there to hunt. And we can argue all day long about the reasons for the decline in turkey numbers, but one of the things we can all agree on is that it just seems like it's getting harder and harder to fill a tag. But I would guess that at least half the time our frustrations are not caused by low turkey numbers or the birds just outsmarting us. I would guess that sometimes, or maybe most of the time, that it just comes down to us being really terrible turkey hunters. So in this video, we're gonna go over 3 reasons why you suck at turkey hunting, so when you do get in the game, you don't screw it up and have to eat another tag this season. But before we start identifying and correcting our mistakes, do me a favor, and if this is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And the first reason why you suck at turkey hunting is you fail to do any kind of scouting whatsoever. There are a select few hunters that have their properties so well managed, so well set up, and have spent so many years on them that they can go out opening morning and shoot a nice tom without doing a bit of scouting. Now you can argue that they put in the work at the beginning to make sure that they have a good turkey population to hunt and that the turkeys are thriving on their properties, but most of us average Joes, we just don't have that luxury. We need to put in a different kind of work so we can find out where they like to roost, where they go to right after fly down, and then where they spend the rest of their time throughout the afternoon until it's time to go roost again. Knowing this information not only sets you up for good hunting right at first light, but it allows you to make adjustments if you can't make it happen first thing in the morning. As the morning goes on, the toms start to go more and more silent, so if you know where they like to go to, you're not relying on them to respond to your calls to know where you need to go set up. Turkeys also don't go to the same spots every morning. You need to identify the different areas they like to go to, so when they don't show up in that spot you were hoping for, you've got some options. Being limited to only one spot that you have seen turkeys in before, it's very demoralizing, because if they don't go to that spot, you have no idea where they are. If they're gobbling, maybe you don't know how to get to them without spooking them. It's just a terrible thing to do. So if you've got the option, get out there a couple of weeks before season, before work, and start just listening for gobbles. Try to pinpoint their roost trees and then mark it on a map. Try to figure out where they are gonna fly down to at first light, then plan your route on how you're gonna get there without spooking them. Now, if you can't get out there days or weeks before the season opens, at least try to get out there the night before you plan to hunt and see where they are at last light. You may even find out where they're flying up to roost, so then you know exactly where you need to go the next morning. And the second reason why you suck at turkey hunting is you did not practice your calls, and it shows. Turkey calling is a perishable skill. It takes some time to figure out the right amount of pressure on your friction calls or your mouth calls to sound realistic. It takes a while to get that cadence right so you can sound like a real hen yelping. An opening morning out in the woods is not the time to find out that you sound more like a toddler with a kazoo. Drive your families nuts practicing your calls at home leading up to and during the season. Bring your mouth calls in the car so you can practice on your way to and from work. You just need to make sure you've knocked off the rust before you get out in the woods, and it really counts. Find some videos of real turkeys clucking and yelping and fly down cackles and whatever calls you want to mimic, and then try to match their pitch and cadence. It'll be extremely helpful when you're trying to sound more realistic. I'll try to put together a playlist of real turkey sounds so you can use those to practice with. Just don't be using them as your actual calls.
Right to jail, right away.
And the third reason why you suck at turkey hunting is one that we're probably all guilty of, at least at some point in every season, is that you have no patience. Turkey hunters typically fall into 2 camps. Those who like to find a high chance area and sit there and wait for the turkeys to come to them, and those who like to play it more aggressively by trying to go to where the turkeys are right now. But even very successful aggressive turkey hunters know when they need to push and when they need to patiently wait for the right timing. Knowing when to push and when to patiently wait for the turkeys to come to you is something that you just kind of have to develop as you get more experienced. But if you're a brand new turkey hunter or one that hasn't filled very many tags, your best bet is to find those high chance areas and then just wait for them to come to you. Try to cut them off if you know where they're gonna go. Another situation that happens all the time, frustrates turkey hunters to no end, is whenever you've got a tom that is responding to almost every single one of your calls, probably even cutting you off before you even finish your yelp sequence. So with each gobble, you're getting more and more excited, so you keep doing your calling sequence. Then he just shuts up. Or maybe he's still gobbling, but he's hung up somewhere. He's not coming any closer. And I know it's very tempting to try to get up and try to move closer to him, but a lot of times your best bet is to just stay right where you are and go silent. Remember, when we're calling to a tom to bring him in, we are actually flipping nature on its head. Normally, a tom will gobble to let a hen know where he is so she can come to him. And so if you go silent to his calls, you stop responding, he's going to wonder what happened to that chatty girl over there and come in to investigate. Or at least that's the hope. What you don't want to do is, as soon as he stops responding to your calls, he stops gobbling, you get up and you try to go to the last place you heard him, because a lot of times he's going to move in the rest of the way in silence, and if you get up, you're going to run right into him. Just have some patience and he will eventually come to you. So that was 3 reasons why you suck at turkey hunting. If you've got any other lessons you'd like to share that you've learned the hard way, leave those down in the comments below. And if you like this video, chances are you're going to like one of these videos over here, so give them a watch. Hit that like button if you like this video, share it if you found it helpful, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can stay informed.